The attic air hung thick and stagnant, the scent of forgotten things tickling my nose with each hesitant step. Dust motes danced in the single shaft of moonlight that speared through a grimy attic window, illuminating a menagerie of forgotten toys and chipped furniture. But in the very center, like a spider waiting in its web, stood the enchanted mirror. It wasn't like the other mirrors in our house, the chipped vanity mirror in Mommy's room or the full-length one by the coat closet. This one was an antique, its ornately carved frame a swirling dance of flowers and mythical creatures. The glass itself wasn't smooth, but a swirling pool of inky blackness that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. Grandma, with her twinkling eyes and stories that sent shivers down my spine, called it the enchanted mirror. Grandma had all sorts of strange things in the attic. A music box that played lullabies sung in a voice like rustling leaves, a rocking horse that creaked on its own even when nobody was near. But the mirror scared me more than any of them. It wasn't the darkness swirling inside. That was kind of pretty in a way, like a swirling galaxy. It was the reflection. Every single time I peeked in, it was the same. A girl with my messy brown braids twisted into pigtails, but her eyes were hollowed out black pits and a thin, unsettling smile stretched across her face like a carved pumpkin left out too long on Halloween night. It wasn't me. Not really. One sweltering afternoon, boredom gnawed at me like a hungry rat. I'd finished all my coloring books, and even the dusty attic seemed to hold no more secrets. Curiosity, a relentless itch I couldn't ignore, drew me towards the mirror. I crept closer, the floorboards groaning like sleepy giants beneath my bare feet. The air around the mirror seemed colder, prickling my skin with goosebumps. "Who are you?" I whispered, my voice barely audible in the dusty silence. The question hung heavy in the air, unanswered. But then, a voice, like dry leaves skittering across a deserted sidewalk, tickled my ear. "We are the same, you and I," it rasped, sending shivers down my spine. I flinched back, my heart hammering a frantic rhythm against my ribs. "No, we're not. You're all creepy." The reflection girl's smile widened, if that was even possible. It stretched impossibly far, revealing rows of tiny, pointed teeth that gleamed an unnatural white in the dim light. But wouldn't it be nice? No more scraped knees from falling off your bike. No more vegetables you hate at dinner. Just perfect fun. Every day? My scraped knee, a souvenir from a particularly daring climb up the oak tree in our backyard, throbbed in agreement. Maybe, just a peek into the mirror world wouldn't hurt. The next day, the scraped knee was gone, vanished without a trace, replaced by smooth, unmarked skin. I stared at it, a thrill of forbidden joy flickering in my chest. The reflection girl winked, her smile less unsettling now, almost friendly. "See? Here, everything is perfect." One by one, the little annoyances of life began to disappear. No more spilled juice staining my favorite shirt. No more bedtime stories about grumpy goblins that left me whimpering under the covers. But something else started to vanish too. My laughter. My smile. I became a pale echo of myself, just like the reflection girl. My braids, usually a tangled mess, were always perfectly neat, my clothes spotless, but my eyes held a dullness that mirrored the emptiness in the reflection's black pits. Then, one night, I woke to a blood-curdling scream that shattered the silence of the house. It was me, but the voice came from the attic. Panic jolted me awake, throwing off the covers in a tangle. I raced up the creaking stairs, my heart pounding a frantic tattoo in my chest. The attic door swung open with a groan, revealing Grandma, her face etched with worry lines deeper than I'd ever seen. The moonlight streamed through the window, illuminating the enchanted mirror. But it was dark, the swirling depths replaced by an inky blackness that seemed to devour the light itself. The reflection girl was gone. In her place stood a shivering, hollow-eyed girl, me. But the real me, the one with scraped knees and a messy bun that defied all attempts to tame it. "What happened?" I rasped, my voice hoarse with fear. Grandma knelt beside me, her eyes full of understanding and a hint of sadness. "The mirror took your reflection, child. It wanted to be real." A cold dread filled me. I wasn't me without their reflection girl. We were two halves of a whole, creepy or not. The realization struck me with the force of a tidal wave. Tears welled up in my eyes, blurring the image of Grandma beside me. But how can I be me without her? I choked out, my voice thick with despair. Grandma wrapped me in a hug, her arms a comforting haven in the cold attic. "You can't be perfect, sweetheart," she said softly, "but you can be you, and that's more than enough." Her words held a truth that resonated deep within me. The idea of a life without scraped knees, without spilled juice, sounded good at first. But it was the scrapes and spills, the laughter and the tears, that made me who I was. We crept back downstairs, the silence of the house broken only by the soft creak of the floorboards and my sniffles. As we reached the kitchen, a delicious aroma filled my nose. Mommy was making her famous chocolate chip cookies, the ones with a little bit too much salt and always a few extra chocolate chips for good measure. The smell was like a warm hug, a reminder of the things I loved most. The way the batter splattered on our faces as we mixed it, the way Mommy told silly stories while the cookies baked, the warm gooiness that always seemed to escape from the center even when they were done. Suddenly, the prospect of perfect, uniform cookies baked by some unseen hand seemed utterly unappealing. I yearned for the mess, the laughter, the feeling of belonging that came with baking with Mommy, even if it meant a few extra trips to the sink to wash sticky fingers. Over the next few days, I slowly began to regain my old self. The scraped knee came back, a reminder of my daring climb. My braids, once perfect, became a tangled mess again, a testament to my wild imagination. And most importantly, my laughter returned, filling the house with a melody sweeter than any perfectly baked cookie. But the experience with the enchanted mirror left a lingering unease. Every now and then, I'd catch a glimpse of myself in the bathroom mirror and swear I saw a flicker of movement in the reflection, a hint of a smile, a glint of black eyes. It was probably just my imagination, fueled by fear. But as I drifted off to sleep each night, a tiny voice, like dry leaves rustling, echoed in my dreams. "We are the